Next, some methods to prevent rusting. Now we know rusting is bad. So there are certain techniques to prevent this rusting. What are those? First one is painting. Don't come in contact with moisture and oxygen. Now when you paint a surface, what happens? It acts like a barrier and it will not let water and oxygen to react with the iron surface. So we see that it is a temporary solution. Sometimes paint might get peeled off, then the iron surface comes in contact with the water as well as your air. That's why this is a temporary solution. Oiling and greasing. Applying a layer of oil or grease. Again, this is a temporary solution. Here oil or grease acts like a temporary barrier so that the iron will not come in touch with water and oxygen. But since it is a temporary solution, it is not widely used. Third technique is galvanizing. Iron surface is coated with a layer of another metal like zinc or chromium. This is a permanent solution. This is widely used because it is a permanent solution. What is galvanizing? On the iron surface, if you coat it with a layer of another metal like zinc or chromium, that technique is known as your galvanization, and it is a permanent solution. Water pipes in our homes are usually made up of galvanized iron. So water pipes in our home, what exactly are they made up of? They are made up of galvanized iron. It means it is coated with a layer of zinc or chromium. Next, alloying. This is also a permanent solution. The process of mixing more than one element to form a new substance. Now, either we are mixing metal with a metal or metals or non-metals. Either metal with metals or non-metals. New substance thus formed is called as an alloy. Alloying is done to improve the properties of a metal to make it more useful. We want to enhance or improve the properties of a metal. That's why we are alloying the substance, and also we want to make it more useful. Example of an alloy: steel. Steel is an alloy. It is made up of 0.5% of carbon, nickel, chromium in pure iron. So these are the substance that it is made up of. Now we know that just iron will rust when it comes in contact with air and water. But when you have an alloy, that is iron is mixed with carbon, nickel and chromium, we see it will not rust. So steel is used in the preparation of scissor or making scissors. Utensils, blade, etc. are made up of steel. Next, one more example. Till now we have studied what are the ways to prevent this rusting. Now we will study few more examples for chemical change. Photosynthesis is an example for a chemical change. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide combine with 6 molecules of water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight to form 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Here 6 represents the, if you can see over here, I have written 6 here, 6 over here, 6 over here. It is representing the molecules, and over here we see these two are the reactants and these two are the products, and the properties of the reactant and the products are entirely different. You cannot say carbon dioxide and water has a similar property to glucose. No, here we see the reactants combining to form entirely new different product, as well as the properties are entirely different. Next, moving on to burning of paper. This is also a chemical change. Carbon, when it comes in contact with oxygen, we see it forms carbon dioxide. It is seen in form of smoke. We know that carbon, when you try to burn the paper, and when you light the paper with a matchstick, we know air is required for combustion. The paper starts burning and it forms carbon dioxide. This is seen as smoke, and the properties are entirely different of the reactant and product. Color change in food items. This is also an example of a chemical change. Now, cut apple and white layer of brinjal. See, when you cut an apple or a white layer of brinjal, you leave it out for a while. You can see a brown layer that is being formed, or it turns slightly dark, because when it comes in contact with oxygen, it undergoes a process known as oxidation. And you cannot reverse this. Once a brown surface or a brown layer is being formed, you cannot reverse it. Next, moving on to, we will study few of the characteristics of chemical reaction in detail. I will explain it to you in the next video. Now, how do we know that chemical reaction has taken place? What is the proof? There might be evolution of a gas when there is a chemical reaction that is taking place. Might be there is change in color. There might be absorption or evolution of heat. There might be change in physical state. Solid might get converted into liquid, or formation of precipitate. Now, what is this precipitate? I'll explain it to you in the next video. So, these are the changes that tell me that chemical reaction has taken place. Thank you.